All right, let's do it. Let's do it. All right, hey, what's up, YouTube? Welcome to Play It Paint It Live. Hope you guys are having a good, what was it, Tuesday? Tuesday evening. It's only Tuesday. Holy crap. Only Tuesday, people. What is going on? I owed you a stream from Sunday, though. So mea culpa. We're gonna do our stream tonight, and we're gonna do the painty paints and the talkie talks and all those things that you normally tune into this feed for. And I know that's why you're here. I know that's why. It's okay. We all have our problems. But yeah, this is what we're gonna do tonight. All right. So, anyways, tonight we're gonna be painting some Marvel Crisis Protocol. Okay, and I had this like elaborate plan to do a bunch of like airbrush kind of color blocking, and that's what we're going to do, right? Because this is an older style that I used to use more of, like when I was painting Metal Batman, the Metal Batman miniature game. But that said, there's still little things that kind of drive me insane that I need to fix on a model like this, right? So here's one of the issues with hard plastic is you could end up like this guy. You could end up, you know, with these lines here, which they're just unnatural and they look bad and they suck, right? Even this is okay. It's like they're trying to make that a natural muscle insertion there, but the fact that you've got, you know, all of these lines here, I don't really know what I could do in the larger scheme about stuff like that. Like that just kind of bugs me. Hey, what's up, Jacob? Welcome to the feed. Yeah, Marvel Crisis Protocol. That's what we're gonna work on. But I don't like those lines. They bug me, and I can see, as you can see, I'm already sort of into the process here of color blocking. So I have a choice. I either live with it at this point, which is probably the most logical thing to do, or we could do something really dumb, and you know that's what we're going to do. We're going to fill these just a little bit. We're going to fill them up. How you doing, buddy? How are things in the Pacific Northwest? Speaking of which, dude, I don't know if you are ever in the market for a commission painter. I am sort of grooming a commission painter who is not terribly far from you. That's true. I could get rid of them using plastic cement to kind of melt this together. I can actually do that now and just reprime it. Like I could do that right now and spot reprime it, which is not the. I mean, that's about as bad as the idea that I have. So let's try it. Let's do a little plastic cement, and it's okay because I can, you know, it's just painting. It's just painting. It's not that big of a deal. So dealing with the rain. But yeah, like I was saying, I am grooming a commission painter who's in the Oregon area, so not terribly far from you. So if you are in the market for, you know, you want to get stuff painted, I may have someone for you. So hit me up. Let me know. She's pretty cool, and she uses oils, which is that's a nice. You know, it's a way to make your centerpieces and so forth look a little bit more interesting, right? So yeah. So yeah, hit me up. Let me know. If you want, you can. If you have a specific job or anything like that, feel free to hit me up on the Play It Painted Facebook page, and yeah, we'll take it from there. Okay, so this glue with the good applicator is starting to run out of glue, but let's see. All right, so we're gonna just let that do that, and then we're gonna do a little bit of color blocking on some of these other miniatures here. Mainly colors that I really don't have the most fun painting. Like I said, we're avoiding contrast paint, so we're gonna kind of approach this from a slightly different style. Okay. Ooh, I'm gonna turn this. It would help if I turned on my airbrush. If we're gonna do a bunch of airbrush, that would help, wouldn't it? So let's do that. And yeah, so we're gonna paint some MCP tonight. I'm not sure how far we'll get, but we'll do that. You know, and we'll do what we normally do. We'll talk the stuff. And yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or threats, or just let us know what you're working on. That's always a fun part of the show, is sharing what other people are working on. Because right now I've been having, the past couple of nights I've been having some problems kind of getting my groove with this particular model line. I haven't painted MCP in a little while, but that's not an excuse for me sort of slouching a little bit on these. I probably could have moved a little bit faster on this particular job, but and maybe used a slightly more conventional painting method. But we're playing, and we're just gonna kind of show you some other things. You been painting MCP? Cool. Yeah, I painted a core set of MCP back in the summer, and I was intending to play with my son, and he sort of lost interest in it. So what I did was I sold that core set of MCP to this customer who now has a core set of MCP and wants me to paint some more stuff. So hey, that worked out, right? Okay, so let's go ahead and get this ready. So we're firing up the HS Infinity airbrush here, right? Which I affectionately call Tony Stark because of the colors, right? That's what we do. Oh, let me make sure I've got some. Make sure I can actually see. There we go. Playing with some fluorescent paints. Oh, nice. You can do vaporwave? That's kind of awesome. Yeah, there's AK Interactive has a fluorescent paint set, which is actually quite nice. I don't know if you've seen it, but I've been slowly incorporating that into some of my color schemes, and they're very nice paints. All right, so we're gonna do. I need a little bit more white on these models, so we're gonna do some white ink. I'm a little concerned this white ink is a little thick going through this airbrush. So it may be a little bit spotty unless I dial in the atomization here a little bit. That's not too bad. Okay, so we're gonna paint Ebony Man. Give him a little bit of lighter color there in the face, especially, and then here, this is gonna be yellow. That right, the center of his little outfit there. Right, so I'm gonna want more color here. Right. That's really it for the light parts of this of that model. Right. Then we got Toad. Just gonna make sure all the exposed skin for Toad is lighter, so that when I go and paint it, it's going to make sense. Right, and Toad's outfit being so much yellow, same thing. We want Toad to be pretty bright, just because of his yellow outfit. Why you not doctor waiting? What's up, Nelson? Welcome to the feed, sir. Okay. A little bit of Toad going on there, and then Magneto, Magento. All right. I want really light up top here. And then I'm just going to kind of use this as a pre-highlight color, so that when I do base coat Magneto here, we have a nice we get a nice clean color where the light is brightest. Okay. So if you're just joining us, welcome to Play It Painted Live. Let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. Tonight we're working on some Marvel Crisis Protocol, and frankly, I'm just kind of doing the prep steps leading up to the main color blocking. Okay. But yeah, hope you guys are having a good week so far. This week is a very, very busy week for me, so not the best week for me. But it's okay. We're gonna make it, guys. We're gonna make it. We're gonna do things. It's gonna be okay. Just gonna get rid of more of this ink on basically the little terrain pieces. It's a little Art Deco stuff that Magneto put together. And then I just want to do a little bit of cleanup in here. Right up in this area. Because I'm going to kind of retreat this area. That helped with the seams a little bit. Thanks, Jacob, for that tip. Helped with the seams a little bit. That's good. But yeah, let's clean her up a little bit. Okay. All right. Oh. So yeah. Painting some MCP. Next on my list for me is still want to paint some Aristea. Having a lot of fun playing that game when we can. Right, this week hoping to get some gaming in maybe Sunday, which is kind of our normal day. We've been playing Defiance, the Corvus Belli sci-fi dungeon crawler set in the Infinity universe. Very fun game, uses Aristea style mechanics, so we've been enjoying it. What's up with my trigger action? Is that too tight? Oh, we're good. All right. So, yeah, let us know what you're painting or what you should be painting. I'll tell you a little tale of how I could have possibly ruined someone's life. We'll get into that in a little bit. I know, it's just hyperbole. It's just hyperbole. Don't worry about it. I didn't actually ruin somebody's life. I just speculate that I may have, right? That I may have critically altered someone's someone's day, and I'm not proud of it, but we can discuss the particulars of that when we get to that portion here. I do like this this mini, this Black Dwarf mini here. And we are gonna, he's big enough for us to use some true metallics on. So that's the plan. We are gonna actually use some metallics on the mini. I just have to figure out which ones we want to use. And it's so much fun because of the Vallejo color shift paints, which are super duper fun, right? And we got the fun airbrush out, so why not? All right, I like this. We're gonna use this blue, green, violet here. As long as I can get it to spray reasonably well, it should be okay. But we're just going to get the metallic portions of this miniature, and then we're actually going to use a couple of different of these color shift metallic paints. Because it's just a fun mini. It's a fun mini to work on. Okay, so you can see I've already undercoated the metallic parts a darker color, right? And we're gonna do this little number on him, which looks fantastic. I love that color. You haven't played with color shift before? Oh, they're super fun. Iridescent paints, obviously, and you could airbrush them, which is actually the nicer way to get the effect. You could use a standard brush if you want. It's just not quite as nice as you could see here. Not quite as nice as doing that. Super fun. Super fun. Okay, and we're also, so I got to get in kind of tight, which is why I'm using this 0.15 needle. Right? Pretty nice. And just certain parts of the armor here. Right? So yeah, in the absence of contrast paints, I revert back to some of the older techniques that I used to use. Not just, you know, I'm not saying like historically older. I'm just saying older techniques for my use. I used to do a lot of this when painting miniatures. Right? It's kind of a la Heraldez or Brush Warrior. If you follow Brush Warrior, they do this style where it's like, you know, get the color blocking in using an airbrush, and then it's a lot of inks and washes and shades to get you where you want to go. Okay. But yeah, let me know if you have any questions, comments, or threats while I am doing this, and we'll try to get some of that answered for you. You may not like my answers, but you know, I will give you answers. This model is just super fun to play with. Let's just say that. I will just say that. This is a very fun, as you can see, very fun getting the colors on this dude. Alright. And then, you know, if you're worried about the pants, don't worry about the pants right now. for the old school feel. Black lining captures the comic book feel. Right. Yeah, almost like a cell shaded look. And we will do some of that with the shades and the washes. Okay. All right. So we got that. Right. There's another metallic color that needs to go down. Go down on this on the axe blade here. And let me show you what that's about. Okay. Hey, what's up, Chris? Welcome to the feed. So yeah, so like I was telling Jacob, I am grooming another commission painter, folks. So so I would say, you know, as far as commissions that you have, the locals commissions that you have going with me, that, you know, we want to turn around and get to the table and play. I would like to keep those that way, so that, you know, we can continue the normal cycle of stuff that we work on. However, if you have other projects, long-term stuff, you know, other ranges that you want to have covered simultaneously while I'm helping cover, we'll say, immediate needs, let me know, because we're lining up another painter, and she would really appreciate the work. Okay, and I will, you know, we'll introduce her at some point, and you guys will get to meet the I guess my Padawan painter, who I've been teaching about the commission paint side of things. I mean, she's already a very, very good painter, and you know, experienced with oils, which is nice. So if you want to have, like, this is a great candidate for something like an oil paint, because it's a large model. It's got nice textures to it. Skin is also always a super fun thing to blend when you're working with oils. So, all right. You know what? I want to rebase coat this color here, this sort of dead flesh color here. So let's do that. All right. So yeah. I don't know. Maybe we just paint this thing tonight, because this thing is fun, and the other things I really, it's really just Toad and Magneto and Mr. Ebony, or whatever his name is. All right, so we're gonna shake this guy up. Yeah, and let's just get a little drop of paint in there. And mix this up. All right, we'll do a little storytelling as well. But yeah, if you're working on anything tonight, let me know. Always curious to know what folks are working on. All right, so I'm just gonna get color back in here. It's actually quite thin. There we go. Whoa. See, I knew that was gonna happen. You gotta watch out for that random spot. Gotta watch out for that. All right. Is it easier? Should I just, at some point, just hop in with a brush like a normal human being? Yes, of course. But that's not as fun. Sometimes doing this is more fun. And sometimes you really do want to have, you know, kind of a softer look transition-wise. This is a pretty good way of doing it. Okay. All right. Just clearing out boxes again, building MCP. Yeah, I assume you and Nelson are going to get in some MCP at some point, just because this is what I'm painting at the moment. And Nelson now has a full starter. All right. got to play with your yeah, you got to play with your expensive toys. Right. Oh man. One of my most fun experiences with this particular with Tony Stark here was when I was painting. I was actually painting stuff for the Rising Sun board game, and I discovered, this needle is small enough to do belts. That was cool. Possibly, but you also play MCP. Oh, okay. Okay. But yeah, I should be able to pick up defined stuff from you pretty soon if you want to start down that path. All right. So now let's pick some brass or some copper. Like this is a really cool copper color that I could do in there, or I could do a really nice red gold, which is pretty cool. Probably the red gold. Red gold's a little more. Would actually make a pretty nice little complement here to the rest of the axe. Yeah, it's a nice red gold. I just have to make sure I'm keeping the needle clean here so that we can get. All right. So let's build up this gold here. Wow, that makes it look very, very fancy, does it not? Yeah, I'm craving my midweek game. I have not had a midweek game. And that's not the fault of any of my regular opponents. It's just this week has been bad from a work standpoint. Had a lot going on. And it's only Tuesday. Kind of ridiculous. Okay. Okay, so you can see how that gold kind of plays out there on the axe. And now we're gonna do. Now I'm gonna do a highlight on the armor parts. Okay. Any questions, comments, threats, observations? They're all good. So yeah, one of the things I had to do tonight is I had to pick up my watch over at Comic Quest because Larry offered to fix my watch, which was super nice of him, and this was my backup watch, right? So so he sent me a message today saying that my watch was done. And I asked him what I owed him, and he said nothing, because that's Larry. He was like, this is the easiest thing in the world to fix. So he fixed my watch very quickly, and I'll show that to you guys in a minute here when that's done. So I went to go get the watch, right? And I'm at the stoplight waiting to turn left to go, to go down the street. And there's a car in front of me, waiting at that light too. Light goes green, which is cool, and then driver ahead of me doesn't move, right? Light's starting to get stale, so I do what any normal person would do is you give them time to respond, but as that light's starting to go stale, you just give them it the horn just a little tap, right? Just a little burp, right? Just to keep things going. And so I gave him a little burp, and sure enough, the driver in front of me kind of like, okay, yeah, and moved And we made it. We both made it through the light, which was fine. And it was after that he turns around, and I'm like, okay, we're both probably going to go into the comic book store, which is fine, right? We just have a little, hey, oh, sorry about that back there, or whatever, right? No big deal. So so we get down there, and he turns around right in the cul-de-sac, just like I do, and then he pulls up and parks in front of the store, and I park behind him. And so I'm parked behind him. I'm like, okay, prepare for a slightly awkward moment. Maybe he's, gonna stabby stab. Who knows? Uh, but he doesn't get out of his car. He pulls over to the curb like he's about to go in the store. Doesn't get out of his car. And I'm like, okay, no problem. I'll just go in, right? It's fine. I'll go in. I'll pretend I didn't see him. That way, if he wants to initiate some sort of interaction, he can. But whatever, right? So I go into the store and talk to a couple of dudes in the store, and spend a few minutes in there. And after a while, I notice that this guy's not coming in the store, that he was just outside. And I know for a fact this guy goes into the store. Like, I've seen his car before. I'm pretty sure I've seen him before. He was clearly there to go in the store. And I was expecting a whole awkward moment, and I told the guys as such. I was like, hey, this happened at the light, so if there's like a little awkward moment between me and the person who's going to come into the store behind me, that's why, right? Except that it would never happen, right? Because, ooh, big old spit there. It would never happen because when I went out to look at the, look out the door there, he did not leave the car. He just up and left. So I'm not sure why. Maybe he was embarrassed by the whole thing, didn't want to face me after for whatever reason. Maybe thought I was some sort of dangerous hooligan. But he left, and I felt so bad. I felt like, oh my God, what if he was urgently trying to do something in the store, but then, I threw him off. I threw him off his nerve, and he didn't do it. Right? Maybe he was going to go into that store, and I started speculating, because that's what I do. Started speculating. Okay, maybe he was going to go, like, finally buy that game that he promised himself, or try to sell. It was a big deal. He was going to sell a comic that his grandfather gave him so that he could ask the woman that he loves to marry him. So I started coming up with all these reasons of how I possibly ruined this person's life by honking at them and throwing them off of whatever mission they happen to be on, in order to get into this comic book store. So yeah, started to feel a little bit guilty. At first, I thought, maybe he was outside plotting to kill me, but no, he just, was just too embarrassed to come in. So, guy out there that I embarrassed, I am sorry. You can still ask the woman that you love to marry you. You can still sell Grandpa's comic that you'd been saving forever and ever so that you could complete your destiny. Okay? I'm sorry I honked at you at the light. It was not meant in malice, and I was just a normal person trying to make it through a light. Okay? Right? So we're good now. We're good. I don't owe you anything anymore, right? But if I did ruin your life by doing that, hey, no big deal, right? We're okay. We're okay. I hope we're okay. Let me know. All right. I mean, we've all kind of had those moments where we were going to do something, right? We were going to do something. We were going to take a step, and possibly a big step, and do something important. And then like one thing kind of just surprises us, throws us off, and then it's off, right? Everything we planned on doing, that's not going to happen now. you know, life has changed permanently and irrevocably. You know, I don't know if I'm the catalyst to that. This case is a weakling over a light Thanos 2020. Maybe. Maybe. But yeah, has anyone? I'm sure this has happened to everybody at some point in time, where it was like you were going to do something, then you got interrupted by something unexpected, and then you ended up not doing the thing, and maybe that ended up being a very good thing, like it saved your life, or it was a really bad thing, and you still regret it to this day. As you can tell, I'm a pessimist, so I assume that what I did to this poor guy probably ruined his life. You know, I just went there. I was like, yeah, I probably just ruined that dude's life. Okay. Okay, cool. All right. Looking pretty good. Pretty happy with that so far. Should we just stick with painting him? Maybe we just stick with painting him for a while. For a man, because I got high. Okay. Yeah, I'm sure marijuana has stopped many a pivotal moment that you were going to do something. Whereas alcohol may have fueled many a pivotal moment. Ooh. Okay, that's the risk that you run with metallics. Sometimes metallics will not be kind. Okay. All right. So now, it's going to take me a minute to clean this out. Just because I got metallic. You get some metallic flecks in there, so you're going to want to wash this down a little bit more diligently. Okay. Also, I want to get some brown shading on the skin. So I'm going to do a couple of things. All right? Some shading and some outlining and whatnot. Okay. So let's actually shoot a little bit of this of these airbrush shaders, which is just going to give me a little shade, and then I'm actually going to use them as a wash with a brush once we're done doing that. All right. So all I'm looking for here is a little tone, and this is very light. It's a very light tone. But I really like these shaders. As you can see, they're so perfect with the airbrush, because after you airbrush something, see how that looks chalky? After you airbrush a thing, it tends to look a little chalky, and these shaders do this great job of sort of softening all that up and getting you back down to a good spot. See how that just kind of filling up there? So now I don't have to leave a chalky finish on the skin. The skin can look pretty well developed. Right? So you see how that worked? That was really nice. Don't let it pool though, like I just did. Right? You don't want to leave weird rings and stuff on the model. There you go. Looking pretty good. All right. Now I want to go a little bit deeper. So we're going to go down to a darker color, and this is going to be less of a toner. We're actually going to put this in slightly more specific points on the model. Okay? So I don't know. Maybe I ruined the guy's life. Maybe not. I don't know. I'm just gonna... You guys can write out the ending however you think it ends. Right? Does this person like change course of life and, you know, then they become like a supervillain or something and they become a foil and they're trying to stop me? You know, 10 years ago you were at a light, and they, you know, they bring up the whole thing. It could happen. I think it could happen. I don't know. All right. Let's see if this thing is actually still spraying okay. Post what I just did. Spotty. Spotty and broad, which is not what we want. Let me clean the needle real quick. Make sure that we get a good cone. We want a cone, right? Not a... Ooh, yeah, it's spraying pretty poorly. Oh, that's super bad. I think I could do a healthy bit like that. So if I wanted to just sort of even out this armor a little bit, I could do that. Ooh, it's still... No, it's still flaking hard. I don't like that at all. Hold on. Hold on. Ooh. It's not working so well. You changed his life because he stopped by the gas station and got a Lotto won the jackpot. There you go. Maybe that's what happened. I'm okay with that. Good. But then the person who was supposed to win, you know, who ended up in line behind him, maybe it ruined that person's life. You never know. You never know. All right. We're doing okay here, though. Ooh. Gotta watch that. It's still a little crackly looking. Not sure why. Shouldn't be getting spotting that bad. That was pretty rough. Maybe there's still yeah, there could still be metallic flakes in there. Let me see if I can adjust. See if I can adjust, just soften all that, right? Blend it all. Looks like I can. That's good, right? Yeah, there we go. Just have the brush help us. When the airbrush is a little too heavy-handed, just clean it up that way. Okay. Doesn't look too bad. And then you can come back like right and do like armor wash and that kind of stuff if we want. I am going to do a little edge highlight on that gold. Okay. All right, but I think we're good with the airbrush for now. It's not really doing us much good at this point anyway. And I probably have some dirt or something in the action that's kind of messing things up. Okay. Ooh, yeah, I gotta. It's a minor clog. It's just enough to mess with the spray pattern. Okay. Yeah, let's work on the skin a little bit more. And the facial features and the eyes, we could do all that too. All right. Okay, and I need to look at this. I need to look at what these things kind of look like. So the comic book art kind of has him have, like, he has like glowing red eyes. And that's kind of like a horn deal. And then that's purple in there. I'm just talking to myself, guys. Don't worry if you can't see what I'm talking about. Okay. But yeah, let's get to work. Let's break the brushes out and start actually working on this guy in earnest. So probably for the red eyes, it's probably gonna start off like an orange color, really, and then you just hit it with to get the glow. You can just hit it with like a red wash or something like that. Alrighty. So let's actually do let's do a fluorescent color. But even though I am aiming for orange, and they do have an orange, what I'm actually going to use is I'm going to use a fluorescent yellow. Because the fluorescent yellow is going to look more orange when we hit it with a red wash. Okay, so we'll do that. But yeah, ruined some guy's life. He could, he was right there. He was right there at Comic Quest. He was gonna do something very important and live his best life. And yeah, we ruined it. I don't know what to say. We ruined his life. Okay, so little dealio there, little dealio here. Oh, only gotta paint in the bone parts there. Okay. Whoa! He just does a header into the wet palette. Well, I mean, it looks like he's on a pretty good center of gravity, but whatever. Okay, so now I need a bone color, which is kind of the joke because I always need a bone color. You always need a bone. All right, so like this. Awful quiet tonight, guys. Are we all done with the Bo-Katan jokes? Did I talk enough trash on Bo-Katan the last time we did a feed? Okay, good. Sounds like I'm going to take your silences as agreement. Alright. So we'll get this going. Bo-Katan. Dang it. Alright, coming soon to the feed, I will be painting more Bo-Katan. Just so you know, spoiler alert. It doesn't just end there. We actually end up painting more Bo-Katan. Alright. So we got that. Now let's use like a crystal red product to do the red, okay? Right, I like this product, the Meng color. Pretty good product, but it's very, the paint itself just tends to bead up. That's kind of a problem, right? So I'm gonna smash down the bead and rinse it out. We're going to talk about potential lives that we ruined, you know, by honking at people. Bo-Katan only if Dad Bod Fett is being done as well. I do like Dad Bod Fett though. I'm not supposed to like Dad Bod Fett, at least not in theory. But I do like the way they brought him back. I do like how absolutely brutal that was. Bo-Katan showing up on the show was just, it's just, right? Is it me, or you just? I feel like there's characters that you could tell they want you to like. They want you to like this character, and they're trying really hard, but it's not earned. At least not from the perspective of watching the show only. You know, if you read the other sources for Bo-Katan and you love her that way, fine, but just know that it's not, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about. Almost 10 on call shift is ending. Have a good evening. Hope the world gets sorted so I can make my way back. Yeah, man. Good. It would be nice to have you come down and visit and throw down on the pitch with us again. That's always a good time. So yeah, have a good one, man. All right, what else am I missing here? So we got that. This little insignia thing on his chest is supposed to be purple. Let's go ahead and I don't think a purple. I think I need to just do like an opaque purple color on it. Yeah, I gotta do this super old school purple color and then highlight it. Dad Bod Fett is I'm gonna say is kind of an inspiration for people like me that'd be like, okay, finally they will have a Mandalorian costume in my size if I just tell them, yes, the Dad Bod Fett, please. Then I too can go run around, traipse around in the Mandalorian armor, who are the goodest of the goods now. They are the goodest guys now. All right, a little purple there. Let's get some edge highlighting on the armor, but let's not use our decent brush. Let's kind of use a less decent brush. You know what I mean? A less gooder brush, like a Jedi brush or something like that. Let's just do that. What's that you're saying? The Jedis are the goodest guys? Is that what you're saying? Are you trying to make that argument? Have you not watched Disney Star Wars? I don't think we can make that argument anymore. I don't think that's a thing, guy. I'm just saying. All right, and we'll use some dry brush metallic paint to do this, because why not? Because that's the point of using dry brush metallic paint, is that it doesn't cost you really anything, and you just kind of, you don't even thin it. You just throw your brush into the cap there like a savage, and you live your life. You live your best life, right? You heard me. You know. But yeah, that's what we're doing, guys. See? He does have the fancy armor. Does he not? It's pretty fancy. Not gonna lie. Pretty fancy armor for such a raw monster looking guy. Yeah, let's do that number. Do that number like that. Sometimes it's just fun to do, like to mix it up, right? Throw your best toys at a project and have some fun with it. I was telling you. Well, no, I wasn't telling you. I wasn't telling you because you don't know. But I was actually struggling with the plastic cement. I bought a little container of plastic cement, a little, you know, just a little bit, because I was going to work on MCP and Malifaux, and plastic cement becomes your friend when you're working on that kind of stuff. So I bought a little bit of it, and I was specifically looking for this type. I was looking for, you know, the Model Master type that has the needle applicator. That's like a big deal. That's a big deal when you're talking plastic cement. Like pay the extra money for that. You won't regret it. It just helps life continue on. So I was trying to do that, and I get this. This is what I bring home under the false pretense that there might be a needle applicator in here. So okay, so pay attention. Testers 3507, you are the devil. Okay, Testers 3507. That is a plastic cement, and I'll show you what sort of evil, heinous, dirty lie, gross, disgusting evil is in that. Okay, I'll show you that in a minute, but right now I'm working on, let's get a little armor highlight here. Okay, I need to go to a happy place first before I discuss the events of the Testers 3507 evil, right? Even more eviler than Skeletor, just so you know. All right, so we'll do that. Let's do a little line this way. Man, I hate that. I hate that Testers stuff now. Ooh, this speckled look here, I'm gonna need to fix. It's kind of an issue. I can fix half of it just by kind of lighting up that area, right? If I do this, you don't see it as bad because your eyes are distracted and you're looking at other stuff. Stupid Testers. I trusted you, Testers. So I went and I bought that because it was $6. And I was like, oh wow, it's such a great bottle of plastic cement for $6. What a great value. This is going to make life easier when I go to build all this stuff. So I bring it home, and you know, the packaging on the packaging, it tells you how to use it, and it says, well, take the cap off, and then clip the, you know, they're so specific. They say clip 1/32 of the needle, right? 1/32 of the needle. You are using 3507. Oh, well, you can explain to me what I'm doing wrong, because I just had the worst experience with it. All right, and I just screwed that up there. It's okay. It's okay. We'll fix it, right? We always do. All right, and then we'll go like that. Let's go like this. Right. Just want these to pop a little bit. So yeah, I'll explain to you what I did. So I did what it told me to do. I popped the cap off, then I clipped the top 32nd of the applicator tip. I clipped that off because it told me to. So I clipped it off, right? Tried to squeeze the glue out of it. No glue coming out of it. Damn it. Okay, that's fine. It says, the packaging says if no glue comes out, clip a little bit more off. Okay, so I clipped a little bit more off. No glue coming out. Damn it. What is going on? I clip a little bit more off, right? And now I'm pretty far down the applicator tip. I'm like, what is going on? Why is this so difficult? I just want my stupid glue so I could build these things, because I had these things all set up on my desk last night. You can just clip some sprues and throw them on, right? And I would be further into the process tonight had this glue worked for me. So then it wasn't working. None of the glue was coming out. So I tried kind of just unscrewing the cap. And after a couple of attempts, it actually worked. I got most of the applicator off. And in the meantime, I was taking a needle. Did you use the provided metal rings? I did not use the provided metal rings. That's probably my mistake, right? What are you supposed to use the provided metal rings with? But anyways, yeah, I couldn't get it off. So I finally I used a pair of vice grips and I got it off. I got the cap off. Got the cap off, and then I flipped over the nozzle, and it was solid. You couldn't punch your way through. Yeah, I couldn't puncture the nozzle with the ring. Well, I mean, I was using this. I was using a Pokeboy to do this, right? I was stabbing down the nozzle. Here's the nozzle. I'll show you. So, right? So I clipped all the way down to there, and I couldn't get anything out, and I was jamming this all the way down. Couldn't get it to puncture. Okay? Couldn't get it to puncture. Finally took the vice grips around here, popped this open. So I pulled this off, and I think it'll still come off. Yeah, I can still take it off. So I took this off, okay, because I was not able to puncture this. And then in here, see that hole there? You can see the yellow. See that yellow? There's like a yellow plug, and it's super solid all the way down. Super solid. Yeah, I kept cutting sections. It wasn't coming out. I kept cutting sections. I made it to here, and you see how there's a hole in that yellow? That wasn't there. That whole thing was solid yellow. And you couldn't, even taking a stabby boy like this and stabbing it through, I could not put a hole through it. I couldn't put a hole in there. And it was just the end of life as we know it. I was furious. Could not do it. Ruined the rest of the evening on a $6 bottle of glue. So today I broke my drill out. I took my drill and drilled the hole all the way through that. So I made it all the way through that and then out this side. And now I can actually get glue out. But because that's what I had to resort to doing, my applicator tip is now wrecked, and now it just gushes glue out. So sad times for the Testors 3507. Yeah, do not like, not a fan. I'm not sure why. I think I even have the metal rings here, but the metal rings, nothing short of that drill was able to go through that yellow plug that sat in there. So yes, rather infuriating. All right. Let's get a little. Let's give him some white teeth. Let's give him a little bit of brightness on his teeth. But yeah, horrible. I mean, the smarter thing to do would be to not waste all my time on a bottle of glue, and it would have been to, continued living my life. That would have been better, and maybe just bought another plastic cement down the line. But that's what I did, and I finally got revenge on that bottle of glue. That's right. I showed that inanimate object who was boss. So we can be proud of that. Okay, so let's get these little orc teeth right here. He's got little teeth inside here. Okay, and then now we're gonna give a we're gonna use the shader to do cool stuff. Okay, and I think we're gonna use we're gonna use Starship Filth, I guess. If I can find it. Where did it go? This is light gray. That is wrong. Here's a little Starship Filth. All right. So we're going to use this as just like a straight up wash. Like back in the day, back in old school stuff, here's what we did. We painted this and, we made it into like a wash. Okay. And that's going to give us some added definition up here on the horns. Okay. I'm also going to use it here around the face. And then there's a number of different ways I could do that. I could do this, but what I need to do critically is get kind of liner around these areas, right? Just so that they're better defined. So you get some areas like that. Okay. There's just these little guys here. Fingernail, that whole deal. But yeah, that was horrifying. That was not an okay experience. Okay. And then I'm also going to use it here, right? Help put a little more shadow back in here. Right, because of the deeper I force that contrast, the cooler this looks. Right, so I want to have every little line here. It is really nice, the contrast on that. It's really nice. Hey, Placebo Pete and Mr. Sean, what's up, guys? What is up? Painting a little MCP. What are you guys working on tonight? And bitching about plastic cement. That was the other part. Right? I was bitching about plastic cement. A specific bottle of plastic cement that made me resort to power tools to be able to use. Okay. And then here, see how that's like super cool looking? We just want to throw some shadow in there. Make that look super, super cooler. See how that, but it does. It makes it look super cooler. You know how we do. Right? So in the absence of contrast, this is what we do. We do some form of color blocking. It doesn't have to be through airbrushing. You could color block the whole thing with a manual brush. But I am lazy and I have fancy toys and I want to play with them. That's why I do what I do. Ooh, that's nice. That's actually quite nice how that looks. Okay. Just don't want it to pool too much right there. Yeah. He's a fun fighty boy, this one. He is very fun at the fighty boy. Okay. Let's get him some like forest green wash. What do you say? You think that's, yeah, dark green like this. Dark green. And then I can show you guys, while this is drying, I can show you guys Star-Lord, and I can show you Venom, who's also part of this group of commission here. So I'm just gonna really just kind of aim this into the shadows, right? And it's gonna leave a nice little shade of green. And you don't have to cover the entire surface. You just kind of feather your way in and out of places. You've been painting Dirty Death Guard. Well, yeah, of course Death Guard are dirty. That's kind of the point of them. But yes, very cool. All right. I do like this guy. He's, like I said, he's a swole fighty boy. I usually don't, sometimes the swole fighty boy is kind of boring to paint, but this one has a really nice big area, and it's just allowing me to play with a bunch of different stuff and kind of make it up as we go along, right? Yeah. You can see the color reacts pretty well with the shading. It gives us what we're looking for, right? It gives us that nice sort of hint of green. Plus with the color shift on the armor, it does look pretty cool. All right. Sean, I was gonna hit you up for a game this week, but things are looking pretty bad at the moment. Things are just very busy right now, and it's making me mad because I want to play more games. Ooh, I'm gonna have to touch that up there. See that? Some of this blue there kind of spilled over, so I'm gonna have to take care of that on both legs. Okay. So let's take an informal poll. Who here likes the Bo-Katan character portrayal on The Mandalorian, and who does not? Go ahead. Go ahead. Say the words. Live your life. What do you... Right? Change my mind. Bo-Katan's a terrible character, and I'm sitting on the desk that says, change my mind. Go ahead. You're up. Any takers? Anyone want to explain to me why Bo-Katan should be my favoritist ever? No? No takers? Let's see. Yeah, where did that color go that I was using? The color. Where did it go? I don't know. Don't care, done. Points for Chris. I dig it. I haven't really watched her Clone Wars iteration. Okay, so 2 votes for Bad Times. Okay, good. Still, I will find someone and we will discuss the topic. But I don't think if I tell someone like the caveat is you can't talk about anything other than The Mandalorian, I don't think people will take me up on that. I'll be like, okay. They'd probably be like, yeah, that, you know. It. Seriously, what did I do with it? It's gone. It's gone. And that color that I was using all night on his skin, it just left. What did I do with it? I am all cut up now. I'm all, yes sir. I'm all squared away. I'm Mandalorian approved, I guess. Yes. But I keep coming back to this thought that I really, that for the most part I really like the show, but she's the worst part of the show. Like by a mile. The only thing that comes her squad is probably the other thing that's almost as cringe as she is. They almost match her. Cringe for cringe. Pretty close. It's pretty close. We just had a couple of people leave. That's it. A new challenger approaches and then they just left. They were done. They're not having it. Maybe they're I've had people walk out on the feed when I talk shit on Star Wars. You guys know that. You know that. What would I want to see in Bo-Katan? Let's move this to a positive conversation, right? Let's try to work within the general framework of Bo-Katan and what she's supposed to do and what the showrunners need her to do. And let's try to stay within that realm. But let's try to make her a character that I would enjoy watching. Okay? So certain unmalleable things, like we can't change the fact that she's a Mandalorian. We're not going to change the fact that she is obsessed with getting the Darksaber, right? We're not going to change the fact that she leads a squad of other Mandalorians, of which we've only seen 2, and they and they fight for freedom wherever there's trouble. G.I. Joe is there. So I'll even leave that intact, right? That they're the good guys for right now. So we could leave all of that intact. And what is missing? What is the problem, as I see it, with Bo-Katan? Why is she, the character, still not palatable to me? Okay? And so it's kind of what I was saying earlier. I don't feel like her position or attitude or demeanor is ever earned on the show. What does that mean exactly? Does that mean that I need her to maybe fight and struggle a little bit harder? Probably. Yeah, I mean that would help, right? If the episode that she was brought into which actually has a lot of fight scenes in it, if it actually had any sort of teeth to those fight scenes. And I did the compare and contrast with what's it called? With episode 6 when they bring Mr. Fett back, right? When you compare it to that, yeah, like it's lacking. There's really no getting around that. Oh my god, I had this color. I had that in an airbrush form and didn't do it. What an idiot. If I had a system by which I could arrange my stuff, the airbrush stuff with this stuff, then maybe, but anyways. So yeah, right? We want some of that valor to be a little bit more earned on screen. So right, if you could have kept those same exact fight scenes, you could have kept those same exact battles, but little changes would have made it more interesting, right? Maybe instead of the stupid I run at you full speed with my armor on, as being the heroic part of the show, maybe we did something else. Maybe, maybe Bo-Katan comes up with this like much cooler, more innovative plan. Maybe, right? Maybe she has like special tricks or maneuvers that she runs just with her squad, right? Maybe she, think of like any sort of like military action movie where like the main action hero guy like points 2 fingers this way and three fingers this way and then runs his thumb down and everybody runs this kind of set play, right? Those are just like little details that would show you that yeah, she's a squad leader, like she's tactical, right? That she's experienced, she's salty, she's a salty vet, that kind of stuff. Just ways to develop this idea that yeah, she's a great sort of military leader. Now I know she gets a little debrief and we do this thing and we walk down this hall, but it still does not adequately portray this sort of this warrior leader. I'm just not getting it. I'm just not getting it. I'm more. It's almost more like seeing somebody kind of brag, but it does come off like a little bit more like false bravado to me. That's what it kind of seems like that to me. So minor things like that would have helped quite a bit. Other stuff you could do, I think she doesn't have to be so annoying and sort of haughty. Like it's a bad haughty. And I'm not using haughty like HOTTIE. I'm not using that. I'm using haughty like HAUGHTY. Haughty, right? Like she kind of takes on airs. That's not in of itself. That's not bad. Like you could do it. There are some of my favorite characters are haughty in that sense, right? Vegeta. I always call on Vegeta, Crixus. Those guys are haughty. They have swagger. They're just brash and overconfident and rude, and they can screw up a scene pretty easily just by being themselves. But that's a good use of that trait and a good portrayal of that trait to make you kind of believe a character. So you could even keep that trait. I'm more interested in seeing, and this is just kind of, this is something that I don't know that you can emulate through acting unless that actor either innately has it or they are that good. And what I mean by that is, can your some of the bravest people I've ever met, the people that jump into fires and that do multiple tours of duty and all that kind of stuff, that face the bad guys at every turn. Some of the people that I know that are like that are just super, super, super chill in the relaxed setting, right? In the standard setting. They're quiet. They may not need to say as much. There's like a quiet confidence, and it comes from a very genuine source, right? You've seen those like the squad leader or the sergeant or whatever, the battlefield leader. You've seen them when they're not in battle, and they're just chill. They're just chill people. Think Guts off the battlefield, right? Guts doesn't say shit when he's done fighting, and he just kind of goes off and swings his sword into the air 900 times. And you got Corkus. He's the guy that's talking all the shit after the fight. Okay, that's a cool dynamic. That's just like, hey, this is how dope Guts is. Guts is so strong, and he doesn't need to. He has it. He has the ability. And I want that from Bo-Katan. Like, if she is that badass, she shouldn't have to act it looks like an act, and that's what I'm saying. She shouldn't have to act. She could just be quiet, and not even quiet, but like still. That's the word I'm looking for. She can just have a stillness about her when she's not fighting. But if you showed that contrast of her just sort of having this quiet stillness, this quiet confidence when she's not on the battlefield, and being a fewer words, and then during the battle, really taking charge, having good plans in place, executing, then you got a character there, right? Then you have like, okay, I'm in, I like this character. And you see that in a lot of the other characters in Mandalorian. You see that in, you see that in Cara Dune. You see that in, obviously you see it in Mando. You see that even Bill Burr's character just kind of goes rogue at one point, right? And you see those characters like flesh themselves out that way, right? Oh, Troy Perez joined the chat. What's up, Troy? If she's so badass, she shouldn't need to extort people for help. Good point, sir. Well taken. Good point. There may be a Bo-Katan person lurking that is just quietly bubbling under the surface right now, just ready to unload all kinds of Star Wars knowledge on me. Just ready, waiting for me to invite them to say it. Come on, you could do it. You can do it. Anyways, but you get what I'm saying, right? It's just my main issue with her is that it just doesn't feel earned. It feels like an act, and right? Paper tiger, right? That's how you would describe it. But she's supposed to not be the paper tiger. She's supposed to be the real deal. But she acts like a paper tiger. And especially when she gives her little, and Moff Gideon, he's mine. Leave him alone. And you're like, what is? And that's also, I'm just gonna say it, but that's also kind of a lowball move, right? If you really do honor the tradition of the Darksaber, and yada yada yada, what she should have said is, if you happen to defeat Moff Gideon, well, I'm just gonna have to defeat you. Right? That's what she should have said, actually, to stay in the dealio, in the fluff, and that would have been far more honorable than imposing this like fake rule that nobody gets to touch Moff Gideon but me. That would have been better, and it would have, like I said, it would have made the whole thing a little bit better, in my opinion. So you want her to be the Steven Seagal of the show? If she did in fact become the Steven Seagal of the show, best character of the show immediately, especially if she was the cook. Right? Or if she was, the Steven Seagal that dies by jumping out of the plane in the first 5 minutes of the movie. Also an awesome rendition. By the way, you're officially social media free until freedom returns to the internet. Stand strong. That's right. Good job. Good job, Troy. But I mean, technically, YouTube is social media. But you're in my chat section, right? So you are in a free zone until, Susan or whatever shuts me down. Maybe I say something bad or wrong. Maybe Susan loves Bo-Katan and she bans me. Did you hear what this guy say about Bo-Katan? And they just get banned. That would actually be one of the funniest reasons for getting banned from YouTube, and I would love that. Could you imagine the bragging rights for just, oh my god. I would go tell everybody. I'd tell everybody I know. Yeah, you know what? You know what makes me cool? I got banned from YouTube. What? No, I didn't post any porn. No, I didn't post any snuff. I didn't do any of that. You know what I did? I pointed out that Bo-Katan's a shitty character, and you need to rethink it. You need to bring her back and let's figure this out. And I got banned from YouTube from that. That would be awesome. Okay? I would seriously, I would be so proud of that. I would advertise that somewhere. Right? Get your minis painted by the guy who talked shit about Bo-Katan and got banned for it. That would be cool. I'd be down with that. All right. What do you think, dude? He's looking pretty good, right? Looking pretty good. Sean shrugs. He has no opinion on Bo-Katan. Who knows? Who knows? Sean, it's okay if you like Bo-Katan. It's fine, man. Don't worry. I'm just talking mad shit. It's okay. Trying to change somebody's mind on the internet is pretty pointless anyway, right? So me just throwing the gauntlet down, like, you're gonna change my mind, like that's pretty stupid. That's not gonna happen, right? I'm gonna have to have some sort of epiphany, some sort of pivotal moment where I understand the power of Bo-Katan. Am I alone in thinking the ending of The Mandalorian was a little cheesy? No, sir, you are not. You are not alone, Troy. You are not alone. Because for me, I do feel like Season 2 was, one, inferior to Season 1. Right? I know, people are starting to get mad. Here we go. It was, I do feel it was inferior to Season 1. And I also feel like that Season 2 was a lot, you could tell it was a lot more like a commercial. It was a lot more like Disney basically loading up the chamber with as many potential money-making spin-offs as possible, right? And so it's like, oh, we want to do 10 spin-offs. And so they kind of designed the season to throw all of these characters at you, with that in mind, that you could, that you would be down and see, oh, yeah, there was a Ahsoka and there was, all the other things. It's not necessarily bad. It really isn't, except that we know it's Disney, right? And Disney, here's kind of what Disney does, okay? Disney doesn't give a shit about their properties. Disney does not, okay? Bear that in mind, including their own stories, including the classic Disney stuff. They don't give a shit about the actual integrity of their product. They are just looking for the next profitable icon that they can foist upon you, okay? So the part that they keep missing, though, is that the parts that we really like tend to be the not so, how shall I say, the not so kind and gentle parts, okay? Right? just take the fact that, and we talk about this quite a bit, the fact that Boba Fett, his entire claim to fame was that he was a super, super cool action figure. He was a super well-designed, cool-looking action figure. They put him in the movie. They didn't even, they gave it no second thought. They were like, this is just a side character. Lucas didn't. He wasn't like, oh my god, this is the future of Star Wars when he put Boba Fett on screen. Okay? It wasn't until somebody noticed, hey, a lot of kids be liking these action figures, man. It wasn't until that, and they looked at the sales of those action figures, that somebody said, hey, we could turn that into a more profitable thing. Okay? But you can't exactly, because Boba Fett is a ruthless mercenary. All right? It's kind of like the example I use all the time is Deadpool. Deadpool is extremely popular. Extremely popular even with kids. But Deadpool is a very rated R adult anti-hero. Okay? But the kids love Deadpool. My kid loves Deadpool. Right? You cannot stop them from liking them. But what Disney does is they take Deadpool and they go, well, we know you like Deadpool, so we're going to give you Deadpool. But we want to make sure that parents aren't going to bitch about us giving you more Deadpool, because he is in fact Deadpool, right? So it's kind of a crap place to be to begin with, right? Because we're going to get more Deadpool, but we're going to get a Disneyfied, gentrified version of Deadpool, where it's going to be like, oh, and did you know that there's a little kid Deadpool, and there's a Deadpool dog, and there's a Deadpool squad, and really they all fought crime together, and they were the goodest guys ever, actually, right? Deadpool isn't even that great, but who's really better is Boca Deadpool. Boca Deadpool is really where it's at, guys. You should love Boca Deadpool. And so they voice this, this much more mainstream palatable character on you on the back of a character that was popular for the opposite reason. Okay? That's what Disney does. They don't give a shit what the integrity of that character or its place in the proposed universe that they have. They don't give a shit about that. He's looking for the, this tracks really well with the audience. Let's do that. So you'll see that. And that's why they suck, right? Because it's more about that formula than it is, trying to have good storytelling or great character development. And that, my friends, is why Bo-Katan sucks. That the end. All right, I gotta back up and read some comments here. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know. He's looking pretty cool. What do you guys think? Cool or not cool? Pretty cool. I think I want to let's shade down the muscles a little bit more even. Let's see. Season 1 was amazing. They only need okay. I love how in the Star Wars universe, huge as it is, all these significant characters just happen to run into each other. I know it's only a galaxy, right? It's only a galaxy, but everybody sort of knows everybody. Because they shove it down your throat. See, remember how much you love this character. But the only episodes that were good were Dad Bod Fett and the discussion of officers' perspective on the justification of wars. Yeah, so 6 and 7. I agree, Chris. 6 and 7 for season 2 were very, very good episodes. But I don't know. I also, as a standalone, as sort of a standalone vignette, I did appreciate Bill Burr's earlier episode as well. Yeah, it was a little kitschy. Sure, I'll give you that. But it was fun. And for a vignette, it was fun. For a one-off, it was fun. Let's see. Also, maybe they could have mentioned how he got out of the Sarlacc pit. I think they're just too lazy to. They're like, dude. Well, here, okay. here's the psychology as I see it behind that. Let's pretend for a second that we're the Disney folks sitting in that room, and we have made the decision to bring Boba Fett back, right? And so we're in that room, and the logical person in the room says, "Okay, but we have to explain how we got out of the Sarlacc pit." Right? The person who actually half gives a shit about Star Wars is asking that. But the psychology major in the room is going, no, 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 no. The gravity of the situation isn't how he got out of the Sarlacc pit. You don't want these sad little nerds screaming about the logical fallacies of whatever we do because they're going to find something wrong with it. We want them to ride the emotional high of seeing their favorite action figure come back, and that's it. Explanations can come later. Just it's more like think about it's like the hot lady just sticking her finger on your lips, like shh, shh, right? She doesn't want you to know. She doesn't want you to know where she came from. She doesn't want you to know what she just did prior to coming over. She just wants you to shut up and enjoy, right? That's the psychology of bringing Fett back. They did not want to sully it, and I think it's a good decision. They didn't want to sully it by having you work out whatever sad mental gymnastics they would have had to resort to explain him crawling out of the Sarlacc pit. Right? Okay. Anyways, I wish they did, but at the same time, it is the old Han Solo parsec thing that they decided to let us do the movie about it. Oh, man. Yeah. God. But again, that's Disney. Disney's, those nerds really like the parsec story. Okay, we'll give them the parsec story. And then just let's throw this other crap in. And it has nothing to do with actually... That's what Favreau gets right. That's what Jon Favreau gets right about The Mandalorian Season 1, is that he's not about sensory overload in Season 1. He wants to tell a good story, a lone wolf with cubs story, and he wants the characters to develop, and he wants you to just experience some of the more banal parts of the Star Wars universe, because frankly those are the most interesting parts. It's not the stupid Death Star blowing up. It's not the stupid Jedi fighting the Sith. No, what is really interesting, and I've been saying this for years, is the smaller stuff. Hey, what's up, Shadowcat? Welcome to the feed. It's the smaller stuff. It's the Tusken Raiders versus the local village. Yeah, I want to see that. It's the it's the small patrols. It's the mini bosses. It's getting the bounties. Those are for the people that love Star Wars for what it is, which is a really good setting with a terrible central plot. That's what we love about Star Wars, right? I want to see. I'll tell you right now. I want to see more Rodians. I love Rodians. Rodians are amazing. I want to see more Rodians. I want to see more Snaggletooth dudes. I want to see, more Nien Nunb dudes. I want to see those guys. I don't need to hear about Jedi anymore. Everybody knows about Jedi. Jedi suck. That's another rant. You guys know that rant. You guys memorize that rant. You know Jedi suck. Anyways, yeah, learning more about Jawa culture, right? That's what makes Star Wars cool when it isn't the main movies, because they're actually cooler than we're proving that those are cooler than the main movies, because they don't have to be the weight of the universe on this one stupid sword fight, right? It's just Star Wars learned how to make shonen bad shonen, essentially. Okay? DBZ is just you could just enjoy shonen for DBZ credit, right? That said, if DBZ were live action, would you watch a miniseries about Yamcha? Maybe not. But I would about Yajirobe. I would watch that. Or Mr. Satan. I would watch that. Anyways. First session was fantastic, Anthony. The total Disney dick move will be them never mentioning the Sarlacc pit during the entire run of the Boba Fett spin-off show. I personally think what they will do is they will slowly explain it during the spin-off show. I mean, if they're going to do it right, you could almost make that the central plot of the show. Like, it could almost be the pivotal point in that show that, you know, that is juxtaposed past him crawling out of the Sarlacc, present him, you know, killing the final mob boss that he needs to kill during the Book of Boba Fett, right? You could make that a thing. So maybe, right? Will you guys listen to me actually giving hope about Star? Check to make sure nobody has taken over my body. But yeah, I'm like, yeah, give them a little credit. Let's see what they do. You guys better be checking if this is the real me. It could not be. It may be. But yeah, I don't know. It could be really. It could end up being cool. We'll see. But I think you have to have. Oh man, how would you do the Boba Fett trilogy? Let's say that Star Wars was not Boba Fett trilogy, the Book of Boba Fett. Let's say Disney was not involved, guys. What would you want to see in the Book of Boba Fett? Right? How would you want that? I would want that to be almost like, you know, like Boardwalk Empire. Right? I would want to see something like that. You know, just kind of dealing with multiple layers of crime and trying to live some sort of existence. I would want to see that. I would want to see, you know, now you might be tempted to say Goodfellas, right? I want the Book of Boba Fett to be like Goodfellas. Maybe if Boba Fett had this great ensemble cast, like if Boba Fett, like if they followed the Mandalorian season 1 template, and they had Boba Fett going around collecting more interesting badass characters to hang out with, and then at the end they staged this like major heist to kind of take it all over, that would be kind of cool, right? Right? If let's say Boba Fett, he goes back, he rounds up Bosk, right? He finds IG-88, he finds, you know, some other cool Rodian, Greedo's cousin or something, right? Finds Snaggletooth, some of those walrus dudes, right? And they get into like there's like an alley fight scene that's just brutal as all hell, right? And Boba Fett only has like his lug wrench basically, like right? And he just has to fight his way. Maybe Gangs of New York. Holy crap! What if they did it that way? They should start off when he saw his father die. It's not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, could watch that. Dude, yeah, think like maybe Gangs of New York. That would just... See, I want to push it like into the real... like into something that Disney would never do. Because I think the further you push that direction, the more interesting outcomes you can get. I think that would be pretty awesome. Yes, I only painted one miniature tonight. Hey, I did. Look, it's not the end of the world, guys. It's okay. I know Nelson Now is supposed to be done a little bit earlier, but I'm moving a little slower through these because they're characters and whatnot. But yeah, we got Star-Lord, right? A little Star-Lordian there. We got Star-Lord, and we got Venom. Ooh, his eyes are like blinging off the screen here. But there's Venom. Rawr. So we got those two, and now we got... So we're getting the big mans is done, right? So that's cool. But yeah, I just think that you're going to do shows like that, it could be really interesting. I'm not really going to talk about the other shows. not really going to speculate about the other shows because frankly, I don't really care. I don't really care that much about the other shows. And frankly, it's gonna, you guys are gonna have to talk me into watching one of those shows, including the Book of Boba Fett. Somebody's gonna have to scout ahead and tell me whether or not it's worth me watching, or I'm gonna decide for myself that hey, this makes for good rant material on my stream, so let's watch it. Fire it up, right? That could be a thing. But yeah. Let's see. I'm looking for a good kind of a, not quite a sepia color, but like a dark brown. I guess I could just use dirt. Dirt. God made dirt and dirt don't hurt. We could do that. Got any of the X-Men? No, unfortunately no. Unless you count Magneto. Magneto is part of this job, so I was actually going to do some Magneto painting tonight, but we got stuck on this guy. We just maybe talking too much. Probably what it was. Me talking a little too much. Less talking, more painting. Do more painting, paint guy. But yeah, that's what Disney does. Is they don't care what it is. They just take what's popular and then they beat you over the head with as many PG, socially acceptable versions of it as they can muster. And they don't care how adult it started off, right? If the movie Pretty Woman was really popular with a Disney audience, they would figure out how to make, oh, they're not just prostitutes. They would make a squad of them. They're not just prostitutes. They're good guys. They all they solve crimes and they feed the homeless. That's what Disney would do, and they would make 10 versions of it. Pretty Woman, Arizona edition. That's what they would do, because they have a marketing team that all they do is study what you and I watch and what we like, and they put us in an age group and they say, oh, well, Octave's an older dude. No, he's not valuable to us. He doesn't represent a profitable viewing audience. But you know what's profitable? That is that 7 to 14 age band, right? So if the 7 to 14 age band really likes Pretty Woman, let's make Pretty Woman Teen Edition. That's how Disney thinks. They don't care what it would actually, in what the ramifications of that actually is, or the logical merit of anything like that is. They don't care. The algorithm tells them what's popular. They're going to plug that into the algorithm, and they're going to make that. Their model already suggests that they're going to make this much profit doing so. Okay. I would totally watch a spin-off show where the two X-Wing pilots who are like police from season 2. They take it, kill the good bits. Yeah, that would be pretty cool. Right? Me and a coworker had this idea that we wanted to do the entire Star Wars saga, 9 movies. We wanted to do 9 movies from the perspective of the 2 stormtroopers that say, these are not the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for, right? And they, and then they let them go, and then they pat each other on the back, and they're like, "Man, good job. This is so great." They're like two reject loser stormtroopers that got stationed on Tatooine, like, and they're just trying to get promoted. They can't wait to get to the Death Star. They're like, "Dude, I heard the food on the Death Star is so good, and they pay for your lunch. Yeah, yeah, and you get free medical." And so so the whole job, the whole point of this 9-movie series is that they narrowly escape death in every single pivotal moment. So they finally, so in the first, in episode 4, I guess we'll call it, because it's going to start there. I guess it's only a 6-movie series. They start off, they finally make it to the Death Star, and they're balling in their new positions. They think they're so great. They've got they're about to get promoted to the Walk Hat dudes, and they're like, "Oh my God, I want to be a Walk Hat dude. That would be so good." And then, before the Death Star right before the Death Star gets attacked, they get fired. Right? They get fired, and they're like, "Okay, you guys fucked up so bad. We're stationing you on Hoth." Hoth? There's nothing on Hoth. And they just, and they get fired, and they get sent to Hoth prior to the Death Star blowing up. So they're leaving. They're on their shuttle, and they're bitching at each other. They're fighting with each other. "It's your fault, dude. You suck." Right? And they're fighting, and it's got the Death Star in the background, and you see the little fleet of rebel ships fly by, and they're still arguing, and then you just see it off in the background, just right? And that would be the end of the first movie, but that's kind of the idea, is that you just have these two shitty stormtroopers that, that are always at the right place at the right time, but they always just somehow escape the fate of the other Empire soldiers. Pretty Woman 2 Electric Boogaloo. Pretty Woman 2, this time it's personal. Pretty Woman 2, Vengeance Rising. But yeah, I mean that's what we're looking at. That's why Disney sucks so hard, is because they've figured out they're able to distill their product to its purest, most addictive form, and they know exactly what they can and can't get away with, and they're ensuring that the audience gets dumber and more accepting of things that allow them to make their product easier, right? If they actually have to have coherent storylines, developed characters, and a great sort of epic tale, what are they going to have to do? Well, they would actually have to hire writers worth their salt, and those writers would have an amount of control that their executives are not comfortable with. They would have to actually find actors who could play developed roles, and they would have to pay them money out of the budget that was going to go into CGI. Okay? And so they figured out that the formula really isn't around good writing and good acting. It's expensive and inefficient. And the only people who give a shit about that are in the age groups that they don't market to. So that's why Disney sucks. All right, rant over. But yeah, that's what we're talking about. Anyway. Oops. Let's at least finish one. Jeez. Can we at least finish one? Let's finish one. Then they can go to bed. But yeah, I would want to watch a series about just like the lesser alien races that aren't really featured in much Star Wars stuff. And I mean, I told you I do like Rhodians because Greedo was such a cool action figure when I was a kid. Not this McClunky shit. I don't buy it. McClunky. McClunky! Alright. Any questions, comments, threats? Hopefully, I am looking for games, so hopefully we can free up, play some games, enjoy our lives, do what we, do what we do. Disney banter on Star Wars almost reminds me of Flash Gets animation on Disney and Star Wars. I think I have watched the Flash Gets on that. But yeah. Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, he's done. I need to do Floaty Boy. I have 2 Floaty Boys in this set. Actually, I guess Toad kind of counts. But we'll work on him. We'll work on him tomorrow. And this guy's looking pretty sweet so far, right? Okay, so let's put that there. Is there anything else that we need? I'll leave the chat open for another minute or so. Again, if you have any questions, comments, or threats, it's not a bad time to do that. Let's see. What does my work schedule look like tomorrow? What the hell is this? Oh, what? Why? Okay. My work schedule. Okay, that sucks. Anyways. All right, guys. It is now 11 o'clock. We are going to call our Oh, let me show you who else is on this so that you know who's coming, right? So you got this dude. He's a Floaty Boy. Look at that guy. You have Floaty Boy there. Then you've got the Floaty Boy. See how Floaty Boy that guy is? You got the Floaty Boy right there. And then you got Toad. It's actually a pretty damn cool sculpt. This is going to be annoying. The fact that his tongue comes all the way back and that I'm going to have to paint that angle around it. That's going to kind of suck. And then we got a couple of modern art sculptures, which are going to be very easy to paint. All right. So with that is going to do it for this video. I want to thank everyone for watching. Have a good night, guys, and we'll catch you on the next one.